Hey Internet, we are back for part 3 of Death Engineering's Race into Space. This is an upgraded image here of the NASA Space Flight Center, and this is appropriate for the year we are starting off. We are returning our game in the year 1960. Spring of 1960. Let's see what the world has to say for us today. Take it away, Carter Wolcray.
Good evening. Developments in the news today. An announcement at the space program today said that there was a major breakthrough on one of its programs. And that's the news. I'm Carter Wolcott.
Hey, that is pretty awesome. So we are having the Atlas upgraded by 27%. That just about gives us back to where we were before the rescues gave us that bad data. However, also in the news, Deke Slayton is a physical washout and has retired before completing basic training. So we are already down one astronaut. All right, so first things we need to do here. We're out here to our destroyed launch facility B. Let's go ahead and repair this. 20 megabucks. Alright, we are back up and running. We also have an orbital satellite here. We are waiting to launch. We'll go ahead and purchase our Explorer, assign that equipment. We have assigned that for May. We're in no rush. We've already won the race to space for a orbital satellite against those rescues, but we still have some more missions to schedule for this year. Actually, let's have a look and see how our astronauts are doing. We're in basic training 3. Uh-oh, someone's up in the flying bedstead. I had to cut that video before it got interesting, didn't they? Let's see what the library has to say for us here. Soviet Union has purchased cosmonauts, so they've got a manned program running. Okay. Mm-hmm. How about the CIA? What are their estimates? I have no information on the rocket program, capsules, or really anything else so far from the rescues. White House is reasonably pleased. Yeah, okay, well that's decent. So we have 94 megabucks left. Let's first of all go straight to our research and the things that we know we need to spend. We need to bring our Mercury capsule up as quickly as possible at this point here. Our crew's going to be ready for flying very soon. This is a good time to point something out here. There's two values that are relevant in the safety factor. There's the maximum R&D. This is the highest you can get it by researching it. It's these numbers along the bottom. But the maximum safety is what can actually be achieved through flying. So you can see we can get up to 78% maximum safety by researching it. But we can get it all the way up to 92% by doing test flights. So that's one of the advantages to keeping all of your launch pads busy, is that every time you fly it, your safety improves much higher, in fact, than you can achieve by just doing straight R&D. Another good example here, maximum R&D is 93 on the Atlas, but we can get it all the way up to 98%. Hey, what happened to our failsafe here? Do you only get to use that one time? That's interesting. Alright, we went to put some more money into our EVA suits. We've already got that up to 82%. It's up to the green, so we're almost ready to actually start testing. 74% in the capsule. 81% on the rocket. What else can we get this up to? 93%. Maximum R&D on the rocket. All right, well, that is interesting. So, we're not going to have astronauts next season. However, we need to start doing some serious successes on our Mercury. So we're just going to abandon the orbital satellite for now and focus strictly on testing the Mercury. So we're going to purchase 2 more of these and purchase 2 more of the lifters to get us up there. We have 62 megabucks left. So that'll get us the equipment we need for next season. We need to save a little bit for R&D, but we still have 62 megabucks left over. So it's time to start looking at some other programs here. Sure tempted to jump right in to the Titan. I know the Ranger is a little more affordable for us and does take quite a while to research. The thing about the Ranger satellite is that it cannot be lifted on an Atlas rocket. So we would need to have an alternate way to lift the Ranger satellite if we went that direction. The other way we can go is start working on the Gemini and just start slowly researching it. In fact, I think that's the way I'm going to go here. Let's go ahead and jump and purchase a Gemini. We're not going to even attempt to do any research and development on this for now because we're not in any rush at all to fly it. But we get the purchase out of the way, and now we can start working on the safety factor R&D track. We'll leave the 32 megabucks left over, roll it over to next season for any unplanned expenses. And let's go ahead and plan our missions here. You know, we're again just doing the unmanned Earth orbitals, these Type 5. We'll be doing the Mercury. Our goal here is just to simply start flying the Mercury capsule and get it testing as much as we can. Okay, we are ready to end our tour in spring 1960. Whoa! So the Russians are a little further along than they let on, did they? Aren't they? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and let this video play out because they've earned the prestige of getting the first crew in space. I assume this is strictly a suborbital flight. So they're not even attempting Gagarin style of orbital. They went straight to a suborbital mission. Well, hats off for them getting a suborbital crew safely up and down this early in the game. That's pretty surprising. Just for history's sake, Vostok 1 of Gagarin was April of 1961, so they're well ahead now. Gagarin, of course, did orbital. That was not an orbital mission, nonetheless. That was still an impressive feat. Okay, so this is our orbital satellite. We've, of course, seen this mission. We've seen this video before. Launched good. Orbital insertion burn complete successfully. Hardware power on. Well, we'll just keep getting those 1 prestige points. The 1 prestige point is better than 0 and much better than negative. I will take it. Hardware power on success. 1 prestige point, orbital satellite. Fall of 1960.
Developments in the news today. There's been an important advance in engineering for the space program. This will cut the cost in all programs by 50% this season. And that's the news. I'm Carter Wolkright.
In a cruel twist of fate, we have virtually no cash left, and we have a sale of 50% off everything in the purchasing category. Well, let's see what we can buy. We might be able to save a little bit of money here and there. We don't have a lot left. Grissom, everyone has graduated from basic training, however. So we have our astronauts here. They're successfully out of basic training and waiting for us here in the astronaut complex. We're going to go ahead and transfer all the crew to the Mercury program. We'll visit the Mercury here. It's each crew, or each flight crew, is only one person. It's pretty easy to choose who goes where. So we've already got Wood, who's not too happy with the world. Now these colors here indicate general mood. Now why Wood and Walker? Carpenter's yellow already, Glenn's yellow already, Shepard's yellow already. That's a little surprising, you know. And we do have our 2 unmanned Earth orbitals here. Assign the hardware for those 2. Okay, and set a date. So we have 32 megabucks left. So let's see what we can afford here. Now the 50% off sale applies to purchasing new programs, and it also applies to purchasing units. We could stock up on Gemini, for example. That might not be a bad idea. What's the price of the Titan here? See, this might be our best bet. Now, we're not going to have a lot left over, R&D, after purchasing the Titan. However, that's going to give us our best savings, I think. Let's go ahead and purchase the Titan. Well, we are going to go through the Mercury, so let's just go ahead and grab 2 more. All right, so future missions. Now, at one point you couldn't assign crew when they were just assigned, but you know, I kind of think that you can now. Let's see. Training. But it will let us fly them. Now the CA here refers to capsule, LM is landing module, EV is EVA, DO is docking, and EN is endurance, and 4 is the highest, 0 is obviously the lowest. Let's go ahead and make our walkers our primary for our first suborbital mission, and our backup crew will be Wood. So we're not going to be as adventurous as the Russians. We're not going to go straight to an orbital mission. Although they went suborbital for their first mission in this playthrough too, so maybe we are going to follow their lead. And as much as I'd like to say that the first manned suborbital will go off just great, and then we can make our next mission an orbital, I think I'm going to go ahead and plan 2 manned suborbitals, just in case something happens in the first one and gets scrubbed. And also, of course, it increases the safety factor each time we fly them successfully. So we want to focus on capsule. This is a Grissom mission. Go on, Gus. Give us your all. All right, so we've got our 2 missions planned. We've spent everything we have. We have another unmanned Earth orbital here ready to go. Let's see how successful with... Hopefully we can get this Mercury up and start getting some experience flying this.
We have commit. We have
Launch successful. All right, that was a success. You don't see a lot of feedback for these unmanned missions, but we have an unmanned Earth orbital success, so that's going to earn us a little bit of a safety factor on the Mercury. That is fantastic. Another unmanned Earth orbital.
Hey, Roger. Periscope has retracted.
Night launch. Very cool.
We have liftoff. Liftoff at 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Tower clear, 13 seconds. And that flight is on open for me. Acceleration.
Hello, coming up. Man, you're looking very good. Roger. We're in real good shape, business. Real fine.
Excellent. Look at that. Another successful Mercury test. Slow and steady wins the race. We'll see.
Developments in the news today. A study by the RAND Corporation released today warns of the dangers of a Soviet lead in the space race and the potential impact on world affairs. Congressional leaders expressed concern that the U.S. is not maintaining the lead. And that's the news. I'm Carter Walkwright.
Well, Congress, you could always just give us more money. Everything can be solved with more money. All right, what do we have lined up here? We have, it is now spring of 1961. Let's go ahead and assemble our two suborbitals. Of course, we pre-purchased those Mercuries, so we have those in stock. We need to purchase another Atlas. And the two spare Mercuries, purchase another Atlas. See, that got up to 96%. That is very reliable. That is going to give us some pretty good chances of some successful crewed missions coming up here. So we have two suborbitals ready to go. We do still, oh, look at that, rolling our rockets out to the pad. Fantastic. All right, we're in no rush, so we won't rush these. We'll leave them standard time. We do have some money left over. Let's see if we can't bring the safety factor of the Mercury up here. We only have to bring it up by a maximum of 4. So let's still only spend 3 on it. Look at that. We didn't even need to spend that much. We got it up to 80%. That's the maximum we can achieve on the Mercury capsule. We have 108 left. Well, that was a nice budget increase there, so they couldn't have been that mad with us. So let's go ahead and plan our next missions here. We're going to cross our fingers and assume that our first suborbitals are going to go great, and we're going to have Carpenter and Glenn ready here for our first orbital attempt. And while we're here, let's go ahead and we will set up a single attempt of the unmanned Earth orbital on the Gemini, just to get the Titan and Gemini mated and flying together. So we do have the one Gemini in stock from the purchase of the program, as well as the Titan. But we can put a little bit more money into the research here. So, starting to get expensive. These capsules start to get expensive quickly. So from 19% here, we get it up to 32%. That's not too bad. 20 megabucks here from 25% up to 44%. Also not too bad. And that gives us some money left over for next season to research the programs around. And since we've got the Titan rocket built and well on the way, now is a good time to get the Ranger program purchased. The Ranger is going to give us the ability to do flybys of Not only the moon, but other planets in the solar system. All of them are fantastic prestige, but we need to do flybys of the moon in order to map the moon's surface, in order to make landings safe and successful. So we'll go ahead and purchase our Ranger. You can see that's a nice looking satellite there. 45%. Now that started off at a pretty good level here because we'd already researched the Explorer fully, and that gives us a chance to get a boost on the next program safety factor. So 45%. How much is it going to cost here? 15 for a full round of research? No, that's a little much. We're gonna go ahead and put 9 into research here. And we are going to go ahead and end our turn. I think this is a pretty good time to end the turn here. We have our missions planned. Make sure here. Earth orbital, unmanned Earth orbital. And we have our 2 suborbitals here ready to go. We've researched everything we need to for now. Here we have our first suborbital. Their first crewed mission. So, first crewed mission is always kind of a nail-biter because anytime a crew is involved, there's a lot of prestige points involved too.
We have commit. We have liftoff.
Okay, Atlas is ignition and off the ground. Here we go.
Tower clear, 13 seconds. And that flight is on before me.
Hello, commit. Man, you're looking very good. Roger.
You see we have our pilot skill is really helping us out here. There's a pretty high blue line here, but because our pilot is so skilled, we only dipped into it a little bit here. And I'm pretty sure that's how the scale goes. If someone wants to explain this better than me, I'm happy to listen.
Roger, is the dog holding?
Re-entry, here we go.
Looks good. Roger, re-entry checklist complete. Standing by for main at 10. Roger.
Go up like a cannonball and come down like a cannonball, I believe is how the man described it. Excellent, alright. Now this little yellow at the top here, I know here that means that the skill of the crew has improved the likelihood of that step succeeding. So that definitely was a good choice to use this particular astronaut, as it gave us a much better chance of this mission coming off. And chutes deployed. Just a matter of waiting for that splashdown. Hey, look at that. We have our first crewed mission, suborbital spaceflight success. Alright, look at that. We are not the first one-person craft. We get second in the second manned space mission. However, we still earned 6 prestige. That apparently was not a female walker. I'm not sure what that meant then. Maybe they're not military. Maybe that means that they were civilian. Race into space is a little bit different than Buzz Aldrin's race into space. I think I'm learning that now. Alright, we have another suborbital mission ready to launch here.
Okay, stand by for final status check. Booster, go. Retro.
Hey, we've seen these videos before. We'll go ahead and skip ahead.
Guidance, you got.
See how high that green got? That was frighteningly close to the blue.
Liftoff at 7:51 a.m. Eastern
Let's watch our
Standard
next
Time.
step. Re-entry success.
complete. Standing by for main at 10.
And recovery landing success. All right, so we have another successful crewed suborbital. Now, that wasn't a very exciting mission, even though we still have successful mission. We didn't earn any prestige for it. We just improved the safety factor of the Atlas and Mercury capsule. But we will take it. That is an excellent 2 missions. It's now fall of 1961. We are going to call it a day here and end this chapter of Death Engineering Plays Race into Space. Tune in next time and we'll come back and see what Carter Wolkrite has in store for us. Thanks a lot. Have an awesome day.